This is the loneliest player ever recorded, but even when he was alone, he kept getting answers, but not from another player. What happens when there's no one left who answers you? When silence is no longer empty, but begins to speak to you. The question is not why he did what he did, but what filled the silence. I found a channel with only a few views, where someone claimed that his blogs were whispering. Within the first seconds it's clear, something is wrong. In the bonus chest lies a stone sword, impossible according to the loot table. But Tom doesn't react, he takes it out by accident and throw it away again. He doesn't question it, and that's what's unsettling. A place that should represent life, but there's nothing. No villagers, no sounds, no traces. Only houses, paths, and beds that were never used. Tom searches everything without success. The question is not where are they, it's why doesn't this seem to bother him. But Tom wasn't alone. This night the world changes. The fog arrives, not quietly, not subtly. It hangs heavy in the air, almost suffocating. But the whisper, it's not clear, it's not quite understandable, but present. And suddenly a question arises. Is Tom really hearing something, or is it only in his head? And we're hearing it too? It could have ended here, but I got curious. There was no second video on this channel. Instead, there was a text. At first glance, it was clearly some code, but it made no sense. I decoded it and looked through lots of possibilities. Most of them made no sense, but then I found it. A video link to Mega. I open it and find another video. Why would someone go through all that effort to hide something when the first video itself is already public? Why is Tom hiding this from us? But looking at the title, he doesn't want it to hide from us. He actually needs our help. Tom works on his farm when he hears the whisper again. But then he types in the chat, I understand what you're saying, I will just finish the farm real quick. But no one has spoken, and this is where everything tips over. Because either Tom is not alone, or loneliness has begun to speak to him. But still, Tom is going home for a moment. He then do something, and the whisper? Just a narrow hallway. On the walls hang faces of Steves, the same faces again and again, watching, silent. The whispering grows louder. He's harming himself. I've thrown all his items in the lava. All the progress, the time, the meaning, all gone. Tom only types, but why? And then he jumps, not panicking, not screaming, but calmly, like someone who has nothing left worth staying for. Later, we see Tom again, but something is different. Before he disappears, he burns down his house. Not out of anger, but as if he has to flee. What is strange, because at this point we haven't seen anyone. Then he goes to the tree, a place we haven't seen before. Tom stops, lays down flowers and leaves, without explanation, but it's clear, Tom was not always alone. He lost someone here, someone who never came back, someone who was important to him. Maybe that explains why he doesn't just start a new world, but it doesn't explain why he heard it right from the beginning and what happens next. The player we see now is no longer the same. He eats only in emergencies. He no longer builds a home. He lives in a cave, not because it's safer, but because it no longer matters. And yet, suddenly we see something strange. He placed armor stands like people, a society made out of objects. And the whispering is gone. I listened to this audio track again and again, isolated frequencies, boosted them, and what I found turned my stomach. The whispering gave no comments. They were conversations from his life. Voices saying, "You deserve to be alone. Your parents will never forgive you. Be ashamed of your thoughts." Poor Tom. If you heard that all the time, it's no wonder. But it was too late, because Tom lost his mind. Sometimes you look at the potions and think about the poison. Not today. Not now. I have to survive. I need to try. Another day. Sometimes he looks up and asks himself if this is the right decision. His food was running out, but despite the information, he didn't want to eat. He was so empty that he one day stepped on the fire just to feel anything. And sometimes the potion is really everything he has. And despite everything we have seen, he's not giving up. It's disturbing to see him doing that. But one day should be even worse. What happened out of Tom? He's bringing it to the max, but he had enough. As he took the poison. He looked at his friends one last time. He ate one last slice of cake before drinking the potion. But the potion didn't kill him. It was the loneliness. We watch Tom through a screen, and while you're listening to this, thousands of people are at this exact moment in this video. We empathize with him because we know the silence, because all of us sometimes hear the whispering. Loneliness is not the absence of people. Loneliness is the feeling of being invisible. Tom was alone in his world, but you are not alone right now. There are many of us who share this feeling. So take a look at the comments. Maybe you will realize the whisper is real, but this time there are no inner demons. It's us.